Hello everyone, a very good evening. Welcome to Oliveboard. I am Anshul, your CAIIB mentor, and today I'm here to share with you the ultimate BRBL strategy. So, many of you have cleared your JIB exam and now you are preparing for the CAIIB June 2026 exam cycle. And for the BRBL paper, when you're starting your preparation, what should be your strategy? What is the syllabus, the important topics, questions that are asked, weightage which is given to each of the module? So this is what we are going to discuss. There are some new topics, some changes that have been made that you need to study. Right? What are the scoring topics according to the November cycle, the June 2025 exam cycles, the topics that were asked, the questions that were asked, repeated topics, how you should strategize your preparation so that you can definitely qualify your BRBL paper. Everything we are going to discuss today. So, if we talk about the expected dates of the CAIIB June 2026 exam, your registration will probably be completed by March 2026. Then your exam will start in June. So, first paper is your ABM, then second is your BFM, third is your ABFM, and fourth is your BRBL exam. And after that is your elective paper. The pattern for all your five papers is the same. The paper will be 100 marks each, 100 questions, 1 mark questions. Questions will be numerical type, statement based, multiple selection, case study based questions are asked. And in the elective, you have five options out of which you need to choose one. So if we talk about particularly about the BRBL paper, so it is a completely theoretical conceptual paper. There are no numerical part in the BRBL syllabus, but there are a lot of concepts, theory, acts that you need to study. That is why this paper is a bit complicated. It is new. BRBL is not tough. It is not impossible to crack the paper just because it is new. You'll be studying about the various important acts, the banking laws, RBI Act, the Prevention of Money Laundering, SURFACI Act, IBC Code, Companies Act. These topics are definitely new, something that you don't deal with in your daily banking life. But if you understand the concepts, then definitely you can score 60 plus easily in your BRBL exam. But for that, conceptual clarity is very important because case study questions, it is a lengthy paper, right? And when you start your preparation for any exam, first you should thoroughly understand the syllabus. Only then you will be able to have a good strategy, a plan, a roadmap. So in your BRBL syllabus, there are around 34 units divided across four modules. Module A basically revolves around the whole banking system. Two acts, the Banking Regulation Act and the RBI Act. Module A is easy. It is easy, factual. You'll be studying about the organization, control, regulation of banks, the structure of banking system in India. You'll be studying about the NBFCs. It is an easy module if we talk about the weightage. So fourth on the priority list is your module A. You can expect around 10 to 15 mark questions will come from module A. Sections, however, are important. Then if we talk about the module B, here you'll be studying 7 units regarding the important acts and laws, legal aspects of banking operation. So some very important acts. Like you'll be studying about the Prevention of Money Laundering, FEMA Act, the Negotiable Instruments Act, the Transfer of Property Act, the various types of mortgages. Module B is also easy. The acts are very interesting, simple to understand, less to remember, more concepts, and they're very scoring. From module B, you can expect around 20 to 25 mark questions. All right. So module B is placed third on our priority list. Then we have module C and module D. Both of them are extremely, extremely important. 60% of the paper is from module C and module D. So module C, you'll be studying about the SURFACI Act, the IBC code, The Legal Services Authorities Act, you'll be studying about the Integrated Ombudsman Scheme. And then Module D is very important from case study point of view. Maximum case studies from the Indian Contract Act, the Companies Act, Partnership Act, Limited Liability Partnership Act. So there are 34 units, almost 30 acts that you need to study in your BRBL syllabus. That is why aspirants they find it a bit tough because these are the acts and laws. You have not studied about them before if you do not have a law background. You do not study it in your daily banking life. But these will be helpful not just to qualify your exam, but also when you are dealing with any problems, any situation in your daily life. All right, so the BRBL syllabus, it is across these four modules. Now let us discuss all the modules one by one. So module A, first unit is the legal framework of regulation of banks. So the RBI has power to regulate the banking system, starting from their license to their winding up, giving directions on the loans and advances. Some powers are also given to the government regarding giving directions to the RBI. And other than that, RBI, the government also hears appeals against any order of removal or cancellation of license ordered by RBI. The unit second talks about the control over organization of banks. So here you'll be studying about the paid up capital and reserve requirements, the board of directors, shareholding requirement. If the banks they want to announce dividend, what is the requirement for that? The regulation of banking business, how the banks they provide the internet banking facility. RBI controls the interest rate, the scrutiny on types of loans, restrictions on employment, restrictions on loans and advances, restriction on the nomination facility. Then Unit 4 is about the returns, inspection, winding up, mergers and acquisition, all the types of banks, whether we are talking about Indian bank, foreign bank, private bank, they need to submit some monthly returns to RBI, some quarterly returns to RBI. Then RBI will order the inspection and scrutiny. Winding up order can also be given by the government. How amalgamation of two banks is done, mergers is done, how the government acquires the undertakings of a banking company. Then the banking structure under which acts the public sector banks are incorporated, under which act the private sector banks, the RRB Act, differentiated banks, who are the eligible promoters of payment banks, SFBs, how are the cooperative banks regulated, local area banks. In detail, you'll be studying about them. Then the unit 6 completely about the NBSCs, the revised scale based regulatory framework, which NBFCs fall in the base layer, middle layer, upper layer, and top layer. What are the prudential requirement? And last unit of module A is the financial sector legislative reforms, where you will be studying about the recommendations made by the Narasimham Committee 1 and 2 and the Financial Stability and Development Council. There are 8 wings under the FSDC. They work for the financial regulation in India, right? So this is the whole module A. The most important units from module A are unit 4 and unit 5 and unit 6. These are the most important units. Then from the unit 3, some topics are important like the MCLR, BPLR, external benchmark. From unit 2, some units like the some topic like the paid up capital, the board of directors, the qualification of a chairperson. These topics are very scoring and extremely important. Then, if we talk about the module B, it is easy. It is very interesting. Interesting acts like the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Under the chapter 4 of this act, the banks are required to keep records of certain classes of transaction and report them. Failure to do so will lead to penalties. Then we have the Negotiable Instruments Act, under which you'll be studying how the bills of exchange are created, checks are created, the meaning of a holder, holder in due course, holder for value. There are important sections like section 143A, Section 148, according to which the interim compensation, the whole procedure for a check dishonor is heard. Foreign Exchange Management Act about the authorized dealers and the repatriation is important. From the payment and settlement system, license of RBI for undertaking this business and cancellation of license, change in anything, again, prior approval of RBI is required. Then we have the laws relating to securities and mode of charge part 1, mode of charge part 2, and the creation, registration, and satisfaction of charges. So in the part 1, you'll be studying about the different types of mortgages, a simple mortgage, registered mortgage, conditional mortgage, usufructuary mortgage, equitable mortgage, what are their features, how they are created. Then in the part 2, you'll be studying about assignment, appropriation, pledge, lien, set off. And then in the unit 7, you'll be studying about the time period within which a charge created has to be registered. If there's a delay, what is the penalty? The various provisions in the Companies Act. If the company who has taken a loan fails to get the charge registered, the charge holder, bank will have to register it. So these are the important topics from module B. Then module C is the most important module, highest weightage. You'll be studying about the integrated ombudsman scheme, under which the three schemes, the banking ombudsman scheme, ombudsman for NBFCs, and the digital transactions. They have been merged into the 2021 scheme. What are the non-maintainable complaints? What are the maintainable complaints? The whole procedure for the grievance redressal and appellate authority. Then the MSMED Act, the provision to provide protection to the micro, small, and medium enterprises. What is the appointed day, deemed or deemed appointed day, day of acceptance, day of deemed acceptance? What is the provision in case of delayed payment, penalty that the buyer has to pay? Very important. Then comes the most important unit of module C, the Surfacy Act. From the Surfacy Act, 5 6 questions minimum are asked every time. So you'll be studying about the whole process. How do the banks they start the Surfacy provision? Then giving of notice, things to be included in the notice, taking possession of the property, selling it, auctioning, everything. Then the Recovery of Debts and Bankruptcy Act, where you'll be studying about how the DRT and the DRATs are established. In this exam session also, every time the same question is asked about the qualification of the presiding officer and the chairperson, the tenure of office. Then insolvency and bankruptcy code, the IBC code for the corporate debtor, how the CIRP is initiated, the four pillars of IBC. You'll be studying about the Bankers Books Evidence Act, under which copies of the documents are provided as evidence. The Legal Services Authorities Act about Lok Adalat. Then the Consumer Protection Act. Here also questions are asked about the jurisdiction of district council, state council, and the central or national council. The Central Consumer Protection Authority. You'll be studying the law of limitation and the tax laws. From this module, the Surfacy Act is the most important. Then the RDB code, the IBC code, you need to study about the Legal Services Authorities Act and the MSMED. From module C, I would say do not skip any unit. All the units are important. However, unit 9 and unit 10, the law of limitation and the tax laws, from here usually questions do not come. Remaining all 8 units, all 8 acts are very important. Okay. Then we have the module D. You'll be studying about the Indian Contracts Act, how are contracts formed, the requirements of a valid contract. There should be consensus at EDM. There should be a legal relationship, consideration should be there. Then the different types of contract, contract of guarantee, indemnity, pledge, bailment. What is a continuing guarantee? What happens if a surety dies? When will the indemnifier's responsibility arise? What is the responsibility of a bailer and bailee? Okay. The Sale of Goods Act in the case of unpaid seller. What rights do the unpaid seller have against the buyer, defaulting buyer, against the goods? Do they have the right of lien? Do they have the right to stop the transit? All of these. Then the Indian Partnership Act, very, very important. What are the relationship responsibilities of one partner to the other partners, of partner to the firm? All of these are important. What if a minor is admitted into the partnership? What is the liability of the partner as a minor? Then Companies Act is the most important unit of Module D. The directors, number of directors in a public company, private company, a foreign company. Then the MOA and AOA are important. The various doctrines of constructive notice, indoor management, these are important. Then the Limited Liability Partnership Act, the difference between the LLP and a partnership. Transfer of Property Act, again, the different mortgages. Right to Information Act, how can an individual get information from a public information officer? What if there's a delay or their request is rejected? How to make the appeal? All of these topics are important. The Right to Information and Obligations, Information Technology Act, and the Prevention of Corruption Act. From this unit, this module, the most important units are Indian Contract Act, Sale of Goods Act, Partnership Act, Companies Act, the LLP Act, Right to Information Act. Remaining acts are not that important. Questions come mostly from the selected six acts. All right. But the module D is very important because maximum case studies and scenario based questions that are extremely, extremely lengthy are asked. And to answer these case studies, you have to understand the concepts well. That is why right now the month of December is almost over. You have January, February, March, April, and May. Almost 5 months, the month of May, you should keep for revision. So your strategy should be such that by March the whole syllabus should be completed. In April you should have time for practicing mock tests, questions, and then May should be for complete revision. Each of these things, all these steps you're going to get in this strategy that we are going to follow. So first we'll be completing the syllabus. We'll be going module wise. We'll be starting from module A, B, C, and D. Do not skip any module thinking that it has less priority. The institute is increasing the difficulty level by each session. Every year in every cycle, the questions are being tough. So complete the syllabus. We'll be completing it before the March end. Then we will practice mock tests. We will provide you the mock tests and live question answer sessions in the crash batch and cracker batches. Notes are very important in your BRBL paper because you need to revise. And notes should be concise. Exam specific crisp notes are important because if you go to read the whole Macmillan book or lengthy notes, it will just waste your time. You won't be able to understand the concepts. So, notes should be exam specific and revision is very important. You need to study almost 30 acts in your BRBL paper, and remembering each and everything won't be possible if you do not revise. So, once you complete a module, revise it when you get time in weekend, or practice a mock test, attend the classes, watch the YouTube videos. Revision is very important. Everything you are going to get in the foundation batch. We will clear all the concepts and then we will move on to the advanced preparation. This will reduce your revision load by 40 to 50%. You'll get higher accuracy in case study. Just by reading the case study, you'll understand what the question is asking you. To answer the case studies, you need to have conceptual clarity. This is ideal for you because all the classes will be in the early morning and late evening, so you won't miss any of the live class. Live classes are there, so if you don't understand a topic, you can ask me again to repeat it, right? So, if you want to qualify your BRBL paper and your CAIIB exam in the June 2026 exam cycle, join the CAIIB Super Elite Plan. In this plan, you are going to get all your four compulsory papers in 2000 plus live classes. We'll be starting with the foundation batch, then the crash and cracker batch, and then finally the revision batches, the rapid revision, capsule batch. Each and everything you're going to get in this single plan. It is the all in one plan. You'll also get access to 200 plus tests across all your papers. You'll also get the elective paper, numerical test, separate case study test, 140 plus chapter wise summarized notes, special session on the previous year papers, doubt clearing. You'll also get access to the community. So if you're revising, you come across a doubt, a topic that you don't understand, you can connect with your mentors at any time. You'll get instant doubt resolution. You can download the videos, download the PDF. The PDFs are exam specific, crisp notes for your revision. So that is all for today. I hope the whole BRBL syllabus and the scoring topics are clear. This session will be helpful if you're starting your preparation right now. Before starting, you should always have a clear grasp of the syllabus. So, like this, all of the important sessions, important information you will be getting on the Oliveboard JIB CIB English medium channel for all your papers, for your compulsory papers and elective papers. So make sure that you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. If you have any doubts regarding the syllabus, exam, BRBL paper, the pattern, anything, you can comment down below and I will answer your queries. So thank you so much and join the Super Elite Plan. Attend all the live classes on a daily basis. And I assure you that if you follow this strategy, you will definitely qualify your BRBL paper with 60 plus marks in the June 2026 exam cycle. So, all the very best for your preparation. Thank you. Good